That's dumb. It doesn't make any sense. My big fat Greek Concordia. Well, let's go back about 25 centuries. Since it takes 100 years to make a century, we're talking 2,500 years ago, when ancient Greek civilization reached its highest point, in the latter 5th century BC. Our theater text refers to this time as the Golden Age of Greece, when politics, art, theater, and architecture flourished as it never had before, and rarely since. With all the ensuing creative activity, the Greeks of 2,500 years ago established ideals of beauty, order, symmetry, and moderation, which permeated their entire culture, including theater. Art is the mirror of its age. The creations of an age reveal prevailing attitudes, underlying assumptions, and deeply held beliefs of a particular group of people. In other words, there is a close link between art and society, creation and culture. That being said, let's flash forward from ancient Greece to the late 19th century when Concordia, Kansas was being built. Let's find evidence of universal themes. By that I mean art of one age, say the Golden Age of Greece, so defining the human character that it can speak eloquently to another age. Well, we needn't look any further for our universal theme evidence than the use of columns, architectural columns in Concordia. Columns have form and vertical symmetry and a practical function. They hold stuff up and look beautiful while they're doing it. For the purpose of this lesson, we're limiting our study to capitals, or column tops. As mentioned earlier, the ancient Greeks created standards by which to organize and label their creations. In drama, there's the three classic unities: time, place, and action. For architecture, the Greeks established the three classical orders: Doric, Ionic, and Corinthian. Let's start with Doric, which is the simplest. The capital is slightly flared but plain. The basic message is one of strength and duty. Take, for example, the Parthenon, built in ancient Athens. But let's look around Concordia for modern-day examples. The Carnegie Library, now the home of the Cloud County Museum. And how about this collection of Doric columns along Concordia's 6th Street? The Concordia Blade Empire newspaper office, and across the street at NCK Carpet. For examples of our second order, Concordia is overflowing with Ionic capitals. More decorative than Doric, this capital features a symmetrical scroll, but I think it looks more like a cinnamon roll. Let's stroll along Concordia's 6th Street. Look, there's cinnamon rolls at Creation's Beauty Salon. And there's another set at the Concordia Post Office. And how many cinnamon rolls have you probably never noticed at the Citizens National Bank and at the Harris Building on 6th and Broadway? Well, there's 4. And how many more? And let's not overlook these indoor Ionic capitals at the Brown Grand Theater Well, here's a cinnamon roll close-up. Our third and final capital is Corinthian, which is the most ornate and elegant of the three classical orders, and developed out of Ionic or cinnamon roll order. When I look at the Corinthian capital, I see banana peels. Check out these examples. At the thrift shop on 6th Street. Before the turn of the last century, the thrift shop was actually Concordia's first opera house. Finally, at the end of the same block, look closely at the columns on the old City Hall building, which feature cinnamon rolls atop Corinthian banana peels. So, my big fat Greek Concordia. As we've seen, classical elements were embraced by those designers building this new city. But why? What cultural message were those architects sending for their time and into the future?